Jansen Manufacturing operates the patio furniture division as a profit center. Operating data for this division for the year ended December 31st are shown below, and in the table you see information about sales, cost of goods sold, selling and administrative costs, and non-controllable fixed costs, and you see the results compared to budget. In addition, the company incurs $180,000 of indirect fixed costs that were budgeted at $175,000. 20% of these costs are allocated to the patio furniture division. And on this problem, we're asked to do three things. First, prepare a responsibility report for the patio furniture division for the year. Then we're to comment on the manager's performance in controlling revenues and costs. And finally, we're to identify costs excluded from the responsibility report and explain why they were excluded. Okay, now on this slide, I've included some of the information that we saw on the last slide so that you have the information in front of you. And next we'll show what the responsibility report looks like. Okay, and now you see it on the screen, and you see it follows a contribution margin format. We start off with sales, then we deduct variable costs to come up with contribution margin, and from that we deduct controllable fixed cost, which includes controllable cost of goods sold and controllable selling and administrative expenses. And once we've deducted the controllable fixed cost from contribution margin, we generate a controllable margin, and that's the bottom line we would see on a responsibility report. Now let's take a look at Part B, where we discuss what we see. And what we see is that the manager effectively controlled revenues and costs. Contribution margin was $94,000 favorable, and controllable margin was $86,000 favorable. Contribution margin was favorable primarily because sales were $60,000 greater than budget and variable costs were $41,000 under budget. So apparently the manager was able to control variable cost of goods sold when sales exceeded budget expectations. He was ineffective, though, in controlling fixed costs, but the unfavorable difference of $8,000 really was only 9% of the favorable difference in contribution margin. Then on Part C, two costs are excluded from the report: non-controllable fixed cost and indirect fixed cost. And the reason that these are that neither cost is on the report is neither cost is controllable by the patio furniture division manager.